We open in a dark alley on a cold, dark and stormy night. Thunder was roaring while the wind blew and the rain fell, and all was normal. Until a bright flash of white light flashed along with a loud clap of thunder, and a spherical orb of blue light appeared in the alley. It was small at first, but soon grew to the size of a gateway, big enough to allow a person to step in or out. As it sat there emitting electricity and absorbing more from the lightning, a family emerged from the portal and stood there looking around in confusion. There, a man in his 40s with spiky green hair and yellow eyes, his wife, a woman in her late 30s with long wavy golden hair and golden eyes to match it, their son, a teenage boy with spiky silver hair and vibrant pink eyes, and their daughter, a young girl with curly blonde hair and blue eyes. As they stood there, they looked around and inspected themselves and were relieved to find that all their belongings had come with them. They all joined hands and walked away from the alley. As they entered the city, they were spotted by several people who thought they were the weirdest thing they'd ever seen. Everything about them was strange, from their physical appearance to their clothes and gadgets. Who were these people? Where were they from, and why had they come? They were picked up by the police, who took them in for questioning. From this, they were able to identify who the people were. The father was Hamish Zappini, his wife was Rocetta, their son was Astro, and their daughter was Starfire. Hamish explained that he and his family were from the year 2893, and they'd come purely to observe their distant past. Thinking their story was a clever tale, the police placed the whole family under arrest, confiscated their belongings, made them change into jail jumpsuits and locked them up in a family cell. Hamish explained that he and his family were from the year 2893, and they'd come purely to observe their distant past. Thinking their story was a clever tale, the police placed the whole family under arrest, confiscated their belongings, made them change into jail jumpsuits and locked them up in a family cell. Among them otherworldly devices was what appeared to be a Walkman, but when they tested it, a camera lens scanned the officer's face and created a clone of him. As he looked through the rest of the strange family's belongings, there was a mobile phone that turned out to be a materialization machine, as it materialized a book across the room, a laptop that turned out to be a narrative faking machine, and what appeared to be a Nerf gun, but it turned out to be a laser tagger, which could be dangerous in the wrong hands. And then the officer found their identification discs, which actually proved their identities, and it was their dates of birth that sealed it. Hamish, born 19th October 2845, Rocetta, born 2nd June 2852, maiden name Saturn, Astro, born 22nd August 2878, Starfire, born 31st May 2887. Upon learning the whole of the family in the cells really had come from the future, they were forced to let them go, with all their belongings returned and a full apology. The Zappini family thought whichever century they'd landed in was very strange. They soon found out which century they were visiting when Astro saw a newspaper article that told them they'd arrived in the early hours of the morning on Wednesday, 12th March, 2025. They were in the 21st century, and it was unknown if they were ever going to return to their own time.